The 911 call from the school came shortly after 9:30 this morning, and law enforcement officers, including local and state police, as well as agents from the FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, were quickly on the scene. At an afternoon news conference, Connecticut State Police Lieutenant Paul Vance detailed how officials proceeded once they arrived.
On and off duty troopers responded to the school, and with Newtown Police immediately upon arrival entered the school and began a complete active shooter search of the building. That included checking every door, every crack, every crevice, every portion of that school.
Vance also confirmed there were multiple people dead inside the school, including the suspected gunman.
There were several fatalities at the scene, both students and staff. There is no information relative to that that is being released at this time until we've made complete and proper notification. The shooter is deceased inside the building. There's a great deal of work that is undertaken immediately upon locating the shooter.
A law enforcement officer told the Associated Press the alleged gunman was a 20-year-old Adam Lanza, whose mother was a teacher at the school. She's reportedly one of the victims of the rampage. There were also reports the gunman died of self-inflicted gunshot wounds and that his older brother is being questioned by authorities. The school, Sandy Hook Elementary, is home to children from kindergarten through 4th grade. The violent episode shook students and their families in the small Newtown community, 65 miles northeast of New York City.
Then the police, were knocking on the door, and they're like, we're evacuating people. So we ran out. There's police about at every door. They're leading us down this way, quick, come on. So then we got to the firehouse, and we sat in our classes, and we were all really happy that we're all alive.
It doesn't even seem real. It just does not seem like it's even possible. It's like you read it in the paper or see it in the news, you're like, oh my God, that poor family. And then you have something happen so close to home. It's like, I think I'm still in shock, to be honest with you.
And Connecticut Governor Dannell Malloy addressed the shooting late this afternoon.
You can never be prepared for this kind of incident. What has happened, what has transpired at that school building will leave a mark on this community and every family impacted.
Today's occurrence in Connecticut is only the latest mass shooting this year. Most notably, in July, a gunman opened fire at a midnight screening of the latest Batman movie, killing 12 and wounding 58. Today's school attack now ranks as the second deadliest crime of its kind in American history, only behind the Virginia Tech shootings with 32 dead in 2007.
The Associated Press has reported that the gunman's brother is cooperating and not believed to have any connection. AP also said this evening that 3 guns were found, 2 pistols, including a Glock, and a 223 caliber rifle in the back of a car. For more, we go to a reporter who has been at the school and on the scene today. Craig LaMolt is with the WSHU Public Radio in Fairfield, Connecticut. I talked with him minutes ago from Newtown. He used his cell phone to hear my questions. Craig LaMolt, thank you for joining us. I understand you went to the Sandy Hook Elementary School today after the shooting. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I did go this morning. Where I got was actually there's a fire station just around the corner from the Sandy Hook Elementary School that they were using as a staging area for parents to come. I got there as a lot of parents were arriving and trying to get to where their kids are, and there was, I wouldn't call it a panic, but there was a lot of concerned parents, and I saw a lot of relieved faces as they got there and saw their kids that were safe.
Did you get an opportunity to talk to any of the parents or any of the children?
I did, yes. I spoke to a couple kids and to their parents. The children told me that they were in class doing just ordinary things, just like they ordinarily would, and they started hearing some banging, and the teachers told them that it was a lockdown. I was actually, I gotta say, surprised that kids knew what a lockdown was. I think that's sort of a sad statement. They'd practiced this before, and they all raced into a coat room before they were ultimately evacuated from the building. I spoke to other people who witnessed children being carried out of the building, and the parents that I spoke to basically were just remarkably relieved and terribly surprised that something like this could happen in what really is a very quiet town.
I know that right now, even as we speak, everything's in flux. A lot of information, new information keeps coming in. But what can you tell us about the suspected shooter who's been identified in some reports as this 20-year-old Lanza?
Well, you know, we have confirmed that the shooter was the son of one of the teachers. There are names going around that are being reported. The officials have not identified the shooter or any of the victims yet, officially. So I am not at liberty to say what the name of the shooter was, but we have confirmed that it was the son of one of the teachers. Also, officials, state police, are confirming that there was another fatality, another homicide in Sandy Hook today. And they do believe, of course, that that is related.
And then what can you tell us about Newtown? One of the fathers said he couldn't believe something like this would happen in a small town like Newtown.
Yeah, it's a small, close-knit community, and in a really quiet part of the state. You know, it's a suburb, but it's almost really more rural. And you know, I talked to a police official here who was asked when the last murder in this part of town was, in Newtown or in Sandy Hook, and he couldn't remember. He couldn't remember the last time it was. He said it had to have been more than 10 years since there had been a murder in this town.
Craig LaMolt, thank you very much from the NPR affiliate in Fairfield, Connecticut. Thank you.